You're watching Canadian Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. From Toronto, Ontario, I'm Catherine Bullock. Assalamu alaikum and greetings of peace. Today a conversation with team lead from Justice for All in the US about their Free Kashmir campaign. But first, some news headlines. Green Party candidate calls hijab a disgusting and oppressive garment. Canada surpasses 2 million COVID cases since 2020. Science journal Retracts Islamophobic letter. And human rights hero Desmond Tutu dies at 90. And now the details. The National Council of Canadian Muslims, otherwise known as NCCM, is in conversation with the Green Party after their candidate recently posted Islamophobic tweets. Catherine Rhodes, who ran for the party in St. Catharines during the recent election, referred to the hijab as a disgusting and oppressive garment that should never infiltrate Canadian schools. She said that the hijab is less of a religious garment and more a tool of oppression. Her posts came after a teacher was reassigned from her position in a Quebec school for wearing a hijab. Rhodes has since removed the posts from her Twitter account. NCCM posted pictures of the tweets on their social media. As of December 26, 2021, Canada has reached over 2 million confirmed cases of COVID-19 since the start of the pandemic. The number comes as several provinces are reporting thousands of active cases for consecutive days. Ontario is leading the surge with reports of more than 9,400 cases. Quebec is following closely behind at 8,000. Canadians were urged by public health officials to keep holiday gatherings small and private this year, given the highly contagious Omicron variant. Infection numbers from this weekend have yet to be reported, though healthcare analysts predict that the actual number will be much higher. The Canadian Medical Association Journal, otherwise known as CMAJ, has retracted the letter to the editor in which hijabs are referred to as instruments of oppression. They say that the editorial process was flawed and biased. CMAJ also published a formal apology from the interim editor-in-chief, Kirsten Patrick. Patrick said that the blame over the letter's title should be directed towards the CMAJ and not Dr. Sharif Emil, the author. Shortly after, Emil published an apology for using generalizations and inflammatory language in his letter. South Africa's anti-apartheid campaigner and Nobel Peace Prize laureate emeritus Desmond Tutu died on Sunday at the age of 90. World leaders from around the globe have since voiced their condolences, in which they all remember Tutu as a moral compass and defender of humanity. Tutu rose to prominence in the 1980s for his strong role in opposing apartheid rule in South Africa, emphasizing non-violent protests. Imam Abdul Mujahid, founder of the human rights organization Justice for All, recalled Tutu's legacy in defending Muslims in Burma, Palestine, and Central Africa. That's it for the news. And now an interview with this organization that I just mentioned, Justice for All, about their current campaign for Free Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir is an internationally recognized disputed territory. Created with the partition of India in 1947, a territory claimed both by Pakistan and India, yet promised a plebiscite on self-determination. There have been 3 wars and several UN resolutions over this territory. In March, the current Prime Minister of India ended Kashmir's special status and has sent in occupation forces, and they are committing mass human rights abuses. Justice for All has a campaign called Free Kashmir Campaign, and today we have with us the team lead of this campaign, Imam Abdul Jabbar. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to our show.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, and thank you for inviting me.
It's our pleasure. I just mentioned this is a very old dispute. Why has Justice for All taken up the cause recently?
As we know that Kashmir is a bleeding wound of the Muslim Ummah, it has always merited prime importance among the issues and challenges faced by the Muslims. The founder and CEO of Justice for All, Imam Abdul Mujahid, has been closely involved with Kashmir issue, whether it was a protest, a rally, or a demonstration in the United States or Canada. But on August 5th, 2019, when 900,000 Indian forces reoccupied Kashmir, ever since, India has been brutalizing the people and colonizing the territory by the way of persecution as well as by
So
enforcement.
you mentioned that this is a bleeding wound. Kashmir is a bleeding wound for the Muslim community, but honestly, I don't think a lot of Muslims know about what's going on in Kashmir. I confess that until I got involved with Justice for All recently, I didn't really know much about what's going on. Why do you think that it doesn't have the prominence in the Muslim community that you obviously think it should?
Uh, like Palestine, I think the time frame is the same, and if we see that in this area, since the as you have also alluded in your introduction, that since the partition of the subcontinent, this Kashmir issue is in the limelight, and it has not been projected, and it has not got the importance as it should get. And although there have been some discussion in the United Nations, in the Security Council, and there were some resolutions passed, but the people, the international institutions, and the human rights organizations have not paid the right heed as they should pay for it. So, but
Do you have a
as a
sense
matter
of
of fact,
why?
it is a bleeding wound of the Muslim Ummah.
Yes,
And
yes, you said that. Well, why do you think that is? Why do you think the community is not really paying attention and focusing on this topic or this issue?
there are many factors involved in that. India has been very vocal internationally, and India has given it a color of just a dispute between India and Pakistan. So see, as a matter of fact, it is not. See, it is not. It is a three-way dispute. It also involves the people of Kashmir. It uh, it is not a permanent solution. If we see Pakistan says that it is a part of Pakistan, and if it disregards the will and wishes of the people of Kashmir, it will not be uh, acceptable for the people of Kashmir.
So is
So
the end goal a Kashmiri state? Is the end goal a nation state called Kashmir?
And okay, I think there is a plebiscite has to be enforced over there, as it has been envisaged in the resolution of the United Nations Security Council, and only then it will be seen that whether the people of Kashmir would like to go to India or to Pakistan, or they would like to be free, or they that means that they want to be independent of both the states. So until and unless they decide, we cannot say, see, that it is part of India or it is part of Pakistan.
So your campaign is focused on helping the people of Kashmir have this vote, this plebiscite, on what they want their future territory to be part of. Is that the focus of your campaign?
Yeah, actually, you see, what has happened, as you know, that on August 5th, 2019, see, when the Indian government has taken the decision, has revoked the provision of Indian law 370, and after that, some new laws have been enforced and registration laws have been put to practice, domicile and land sale has been in effect. So the scale at which these atrocities have been unleashed against the people, it can be rightly termed as genocide of Kashmiris and crimes against the humanity. Kashmiris are being exterminated. They are being made aliens and homeless in their homeland. Since then, a full-fledged department, Kashmir Action, has been established within Justice for All, which has
What's been your
continuously.
focus? What's been the focus of your campaign? in terms of the work that you've been doing on a day-to-day basis. What have you been doing?
Okay, so we have undertaken a lot of things. Number one is they to inform the people, the international, the nations and the readership, and the human rights organization to tell them what is the present phase of the struggle of the Kashmiris, and also recently you can say that what the projects or activities or the programs that Justice for All has undertaken is that I can say very briefly that on 5th February we have observed Kashmir Solidarity Day, expressing solidarity and integrity with people of Kashmir who are oppressed by the Indian occupying forces and administration. This special day was featured with expression of encouragement and resolve for Kashmiris from occupied Kashmir and Azad Kashmir.
This is public information. I know that you've had a program called Prisoners of Haq. Can you explain what that is?
Okay, yes. Besides that, we also had the digital rally, and we had the khutbah campaign, and we had a well-knitted Twitter storm for the Kashmir. But the present, you have alluded to our Prisoners of Haq program, in which we have invited those people who are the relatives, who are the families of 5 distinguished Kashmiris whose sacrifices are extraordinary. But these people are languishing in the jails of India and Kashmir for a long time. For example, Shabir Shah is, with different intervals, is in jail for 35 years. And also there are three sisters, Askia and Rabi, Nahida Nasreen, and Fahmida Sufi, who are in Tihar jail, infamous Tihar jail, and they are undergoing very harsh and rigorous situation in which we learned that their health is deteriorating and they are disconnected with their family, and it is impossible that the family people can have a kind of communication with them.
So you're lobbying to have them released?
Yes.
I guess they've been held without trial, is my understanding. You're lobbying to have them released. And
yes.
Are you lobbying the US government to put pressure, or do you lobby the Indian government directly?
Our lobbying is multi-dimensional. We urge on the international institution, and especially the human rights organization, and we also meet the people of the representatives of America, whether they are senators or they are the member of the House, and we impress upon them that these are the people who are neglected and who are decaying in the cells of Indian jails for a longer time. And
do they give you a good hearing? Like, do they listen to you? Do they say, yes, we'll take up this case?
We make an effort, but we don't see a substantial support from them, that they have taken an initiative with the Indian government. They have just impressed upon the Indian government. We have not come to know. But what happens that whenever we project a case through our Prisoners of Conscience program, after that, those people, their cases are explorated, and then some more limitations and rigorous repercussions are placed for these people.
And we have to leave it there, I'm afraid, but we commend you for your work, and we hope that you're successful, that these people are released and see freedom. And thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
You've been watching Canadian Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Stay tuned for the next episode. Stay safe and God bless.